right away, but that's just life. But it was a hard jump, and it's even harder doing that in the women's space. I mean, WNBA, it's such such a baby compared to the NBA that it's taken time, and like right now is a great time for us, but like it's taken time for it to get the respect that it deserves, the resources that it deserves, and we're still fighting for it.
I was looking at, like, me and my roommate were watching TV, and the fact that every NBA commercial that you see right now, there's a W player on the television with the NBA player, and they're making sure they show their logo. I'm like, I have never seen this once in my life. Like, it's people bigger than everyone knows Candace Parker. When I think of WNBA, that's the first person that comes to mind. But like seeing more people just being displayed and being shown is like, oh, they're actually out here. Yeah. And like you're doing it.
Yeah, no, it's a great time for us and for all women's sports. But I would say it took a lot of convincing, or it took a lot of groundwork or preparation on my end to fight for that position in a space that I know doesn't get as much resources. So to be able to fight for that position, it made it a lot easier when I knew I did all the prep work. Like I knew I said yes to everything. Like I knew I made sacrifices to be in this place or in that place. Like I knew my knowledge. I knew the connections I made in the league office. I knew the connections I made within the people that I directly reported to. I knew the connections I made with players, with teams. Like all of that was intentional. So to be able to do all that,
that's my favorite word,
and lay all that groundwork by the time I did fight for the position, because like I waited, like I could have like asked for it a year or two before, but I was like I wasn't ready yet. Like I wasn't prepared. But once I did kind of pitch the position, I was fully prepared, and I knew I would get it. I'm the type of person, like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't expect things unless I'm like actually like working for it, and I knew like, all right, well, I'm on this path, and this is what I'm like expecting because this is the work that I've done to prepare for it. So it made it a lot easier knowing everything that I did before and knowing that everyone knew what I did before. Like I wrote it down. Like these are all the things that I've done.
I did this.
And
me.
Yeah, basically created the role. And
so what do you do now at the WNBA?
So basically, I oversee our.
I love that word.
Our video production. I oversee our video production, and then I am the lead when it comes to our creative content. So anything that's like an original series by the league, I'm the lead on.
That's dope.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. I mean,
She says that so humbly.
On the
other hand, I'm walking around. I run shit at the WNBA. Yo, give me a table.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like I know I'm very blessed. I'm very appreciative of the world that I'm in and that I've been able to be successful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know it's not like. I do feel like this is more rare than. Like in a way, it's more rare than what society tells us is possible, or what. I only think it's rare if like you never see it. You know, like I feel like.
You just had a great point because in my notes, and we're gonna reference her bio instead of just reading it.
I hate that.
Ashley has been recognized in an inaugural class of women of color in sports, on the rise. I think I'm black. I'm not sure if you guys didn't know. If you're listening and not watching, just a little disclaimer. I'm black. That also means she's black. So, I hear this all the time. Representation matters. For Being able to see someone. Be able to see someone who looks like you, who thinks like you, who grew up like you, do something that you want to do, gives you the inspiration, gives you the energy, gives you the power, the drive to do it. Yeah. So it doesn't sound crazy to hear you say, "Oh, cool, I didn't know what I wanted to do," or I mean, I didn't know this was possible because no one's done it before. Yeah. But now that you opened that door, now there's other people out there like, yo, I want to do what Ashley does.
Yeah, which is, I mean, that's
Yeah, that's what I said. Like, I couldn't be humble.
You see,
Personally.
that's just who I am in my core. Like, I don't like showboating. I don't like showing off. I don't like. I just
Like I said,
like
we
to
grew
do
up
my
different
thing.
lives.
Yeah, look, and that's what I was gonna say before. Like, I was gonna like kind of hint like or joke at that. I feel like we grew up completely different, but I will say we were around similar people, and I'll say like growing up, I felt like I was able to see both sides. It's very interesting. I don't think I've ever like even verbalized this, but like
Can I get some of Ashley's wine now, since mine is done?
so we grew up middle class, pretty much, right?
Okay, yes.
I would say
yes.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
You could talk me a bit. That's enough.
yeah.
That's enough for him.
Um,
Like I would say we grew up middle
I thought
class.
we grew up rich.
Okay, I'll get to that. But we grew
thought
up
we
we
had
grew up like
both.
middle class, upper middle class, right?
Yeah.
This is at least what we thought we grew up as, right? Who knows what was really going on? There are a lot of things I found out in
Please, as
my
we get older, we're here
in my
like,
latter
what?
years, and I'm just like, huh?
Y'all struggled here?
Anyways, so I'm just gonna say we grew up middle to upper middle class, middle class, right? So
The real middle. The working
the
middle class.
real middle class, okay, the real black middle class too. There's a difference. Okay, but because like I think, and I don't think they did it on purpose, but our parents know so many people, and they know so many different kinds of people. So I feel like growing up, at least one thing that I paid attention to, because I guess this is just how my brain works, like I saw the way that some people lived, and I was like, oh, okay. And then we would go to other people's houses, like, oh, okay. And then we go to our house, I'm like, oh, okay. So then I'm like,
We're in a good spot.
so it was like I was able to see like so much and meet so many different kind of people that as I was growing up, like I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to make money because I'm like, I can see what money can.
I know what I'm not going to do.
Exactly. I know how I don't want to live. I know how I do want to live. I know what I aspire to be at. And it's like that was part of the representation that I just was exposed to growing up.
And
Now,
that's on Melissa.
yeah, no, and Lamont, you can give him a little bit of credit.
Oh, I was going to talk about him.
Yeah, but I just think that like that representation of like money in class that was really important for me, and I felt like that helped me also like understand like worth and stuff. Because again, like I mean, our parents tell the story all the time about like the moment I realized that we weren't rich, but like I always thought we were because I mean our parents obviously did a really good job like taking care of us and making
Wasn't it a
sure
sporting event?
we were comfortable. But yeah, like I just because okay, now granted, they exposed us to a lot of sporting events earlier on.
We were.
And we
I
always
remember
had
Ashley's
good
birthday.
seat-
We sat in a box office,
Yeah.
like at a Nets finals
Yeah.
game one year. We went to Yankee games all the time.
Yeah.
We were on the field for Nets games at least once a year.
We always
I was on
had
the field.
these. We
So
always had
in my
these
head,
like.
we got it.
Yeah, we always had these like behind the scene or VIP moments and like floor seats, suites, like all these different kind of experiences. So one day they take us to a Yankee game. Mind you, I am accustomed to certain seats or a certain experience. This is just what I was accustomed to. I had never experienced anything else. So we get in, we go up an escalator. Okay, that's fine. We go up another flight. I'm like, Mind you, I'm like 10. Then we went up another one. And I said, is that a 4? We're walking up the steps. So mind you, we're already up there. And then
You see how much he talks about it to this day.
and then we start walking up steps. Like, steep steps. And I asked a question that I feel any inquisitive child would ask. Why are we with the poor people? Why are we here? This is not who we are. We are not poor people. We shouldn't sit with poor people. Like that's the mind of a child. I am not saying I would say that today. I would question why I would still have a seat up there. But I wouldn't say those things verbally. So, like I said earlier on, I understood, you know what I'm not going to do? Is sit up here. So I worked and I made sure.
So you know how to sit up there.
Because what am I sitting up here for?
With the
Who can
poor
see?
people?
So not only do I have to buy this ticket that obviously is a struggle for me to buy. Not obviously, but I mean, mind you, these tickets are probably like $10. A very good, reasonable price to get into a baseball game. But you also have to buy binoculars. Because Lord knows you can't see the action.
An iPhone zoom doesn't do it for you.
No. Especially not at the ripe age of 10. So I guess I understood then. I was like, I want to live a certain lifestyle, or I want to live a certain way, and that carried on. I mean, but it's our parents' fault. Like, they spoiled us. We had a ton of family.
Like, when I say I thought I was rich, and I'm so blessed to say this today, because, like, think about it, there was never a time where I asked for something and didn't get it.
Yeah.
Unless I was bad, which normally happens. So I lost a lot of stuff in the process. But I think about, like, for my birthday, I asked for a bike. I woke up on my birthday, there was a bike there.
Yeah.
Or I asked for this, and, like, it always happened. Like, I never remember asking for something and being severely disappointed I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing I ever got disappointed was when I asked for, like, gaming systems, and our parents said no.
And
they
then,
were
and then
demonic or
all of a
whatever.
sudden, when CJ was
Our
9?
Our first system in the house was a Wii.
No, he was younger than 9. Because I was still in the house. He had to be like 6.
Telling us to move on.
Yeah, we're ignoring her.
She's like, y'all not gonna talk about me.
I think CJ had to be like 6.
The religion in Melissa back then. Whew,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I got
grew
like
up in a cult for the first
multiple
couple years.
cults. So
And
like
then I got like a cult adjacent.
and then
CJ got-
CJ is just Lord
Run,
Jesus.
run free,
Who
have fun.
knows what? I love CJ. He's great. But we were raised by 3 different sets of parents.
Yes.
I'll say that.
Okay, so because if she does this one more time to me, getting back to your mastery, what's next? As you keep on growing, you chase your dreams, like, what's on your vision board for this year? Like, what's something new, something great you want to accomplish?
You've come to me at a very interesting time in my life where one thing that I've realized that I value and something that's going to continue to be like a non-negotiable for me as I continue life is that I want to enjoy
What you do?
everything that I do, not just with work, like when I'm home, when I'm like doing activities. Like, I now see I place higher value in enjoying things, because like I think especially when you're in your 20s and you're working on like that career grind, you sacrifice parts of, like, whether it's work-life balance or it's just like happiness in general. Like, you're sacrificing a part of that because like you're working so hard to get to a certain point. And I think it might just be a consequence of me achieving like a pretty big goal of mine. Not saying that's the biggest goal, but it's just like one of them. It's just like, all right, I worked so hard and I got this position. Now I don't want to sacrifice the happiness part of it. So it's not saying that I'm going to change careers or change where I'm at or anything like that, but it's like I need to make sure that whatever I'm doing is still going to bring me joy. Like, I do not want, one thing that I know about myself right now, I do not want to go to work, be super stressed, come back home, be super stressed, have anxiety because of something that happened at work. Like, that's not something that I am like willing to
That's a
accept.
non-negotiable for me.
Yeah, but it's like you make these decisions for yourself, because at the end of the day, no matter how much you love the job, no matter how much the job loves you, if something happens to you, the work day happens, like the day happens, like with or without you. Like, will a couple of things fall apart? Maybe, but like they're gonna continue to do whatever. Exactly, like the world continues to spin no matter what, you know. So like, now I definitely want to make sure that I'm happy